What's going on, Space Monkeys? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm your host, Robert Durden, and this episode I've kind of made variations of it before, and every single time something happens on the left that shows me that the anachronism or the old trope that the left is divided, that there's infighting in the progressives, that's not in fact true, and I wish that people would stop saying it. And the latest example that proves my point that the left is not at all divided, we are simply trimming the fat, is the TYT thing that just happened. For you guys that don't know, basically the entire left was unified over the last week going against Cenk and Ana Kasparian when they on their show smeared and slandered Aaron Mate. Aaron Mate is one of the best journalists alive, and he's a young guy, and he's been covering the OPCW cover-up of the gas attacks in Syria accurately. He's actually in Syria right now, and TYT decided that they were going to go after him, and they are ultimate sellouts and absolute circus clowns, and the entire left absolutely laid waste to them. I mean, it was scorched earth. TYT is never going to recover from these types of things. Medicare for All, floor vote, them being on the wrong side of that versus Jimmy Dore was the first nail in the coffin. This is one of the final nails, if not the final nail in the coffin, but I'm sure they're going to keep doing dumb stuff, but I swear to God, you guys, TYT dug their own grave, and the left came in and scooped all the soil on top of it, man. It was absolutely gross. So, but I love that, because that is not the left infighting. TYT is not the left. All that is happening is the left is finding out that we had some invaders, some wolves in sheep's clothing. If the left goes after Elizabeth Warren for calling Bernie a sexist and trying to sabotage his campaign, and then later on actually sabotaging his campaign by staying in far too late when she was in 6th place to make sure that the left progressives divided the vote, that was right before Super Tuesday. She should have dropped out. Bernie would be president right now. She didn't do so. Is it if we call out what Elizabeth Warren did, is that left infighting? I don't think that's left infighting. That's the left figuring out that we had a mole, a narc, on our team, and we kicked him the fuck out. That's a good thing. So I wish that we would stop using the framing of leftist infighting. The left is as united as possible. They're more united now than ever, and I think they're angrier than ever. And if you don't believe me, look at the corpses of Andrew Yang, Ana Kasparian, and Cenk over here. The left has nothing wrong with it, other than that we don't have a leader right now. So what this episode is really about, guys, is that I don't want you to lose heart like the left is in fact fractured. The left and progressives are not at all fractured. We're angrier than ever. The problem is that now we don't have a conduit to focus on that gives all of our energy towards something good, like Bernie Sanders run for president. And instead, we're focusing all of our anger and our vitriol for being cheated the last couple of times on people that aren't true leftists, and that's fine. Because here's what's going to happen. Eventually, someone else is going to run that inherits Bernie's mantle, and that will inherit the Sanders swarm, which is the phenomena online that is something like the Trumpists are online, where Bernie has so many people out there willing to cover him and fight for him and give him coverage in a good light online, and it only happens for him. Now that he's more or less gone, he's not going to be that person anymore. It's just a matter of who steps into his shoes. And trust me when I tell you, the left has weaponized its brain and there's more and more angry youngsters out there by the day that are looking for a leftist to follow. So eventually one of these people is going to step up, and whether it's Nina Turner or Jesse Ventura or Keith Ellison or a number of other people I've mentioned who I think would be good to pick up that mantle, doesn't matter. If they have the right rhetoric and they go up there and fight, the left will unite behind them and they won't even have to try. I call that kind of like conjuring the left's Patronus. They will all unite behind one of these people who has the correct rhetoric. Now, last point here, you guys. This is evolution. My background is more or less in biology. That's where a lot of my electeds came from my extra classes came from when I was studying pre-med. So I have a huge emphasis in biology. And what the left is doing in biological terms is they are evolving past the Elizabeth Warrens and the TYTs and the Ben Dixons and the Nomiki Kunsts of the world, They were a vestigial organ. You know, they are the appendix and the pinky toe and the coccyx of the body, and we're shedding them because they aren't needed anymore. They're useless organs. So that is not at all, we're not fighting, we're evolving. We're getting rid of the useless parts and becoming better suited for survival politically in the future. So the framing should be like that, you guys. The left is not fighting. Because the people that the left are fighting, like Andrew Yang, like TYT, they were never true leftists. They just pretended to be, and we sought them out. We sniffed out the rats, we evolved past them, we kicked them out, and we're better off for it. And trust me, it has nothing to do with us being divided. The left is absolutely united. It's just a matter of who are we going to unite behind coming up in upcoming elections, and in the meantime, while we sit and stew in our own anger, who we're going to shred the way that we did Cenk and Ana Kasparian for going after Aaron Mate. And I imagine every time this happens, you guys, where I see the left go out there and absolutely tear the jugular out of somebody, I'm going to come back on here and do an episode on why this is a heartening thing. The absolute demise of TYT is evidence to me that the left is absolutely united. The absolute demise of Andrew Yang, especially in the most recent polls because of his comments on Israel, is extremely encouraging to me, because it tells me that the left is very, very good at sniffing out rats. And that's just naturally built in with us, guys. We're good at it. And we do not hold back. We just get rid of them. We don't sit around and try to mess with them and try to convince them to come back to the right side. As soon as we know they've gone to the dark side, they're ostracized. And that's not a bad thing. That's evolution, and it's going faster than anybody on the right could possibly do. Far right people online are never going to evolve the way that the left will, because we have this built-in mechanism of sniffing out the not true leftists. But then we do the opposite also. If we find out you are a true leftist, we unite behind you like nobody's business. Ask Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore, basically, with the Medicare for All floor vote, not only knocked TYT down from their high horse and kicked them into submission, but he also conjured the Patronus of the left in a way that forced a lot of these Congress people to have to reckon with us. And that had nothing more to do with anything other than that Jimmy had the right rhetoric and he was screaming to the rooftops about this strategy, and everybody naturally united behind him. So the left is very, very good at evolving in this situation, and I think they're going to do so quickly over the next couple of years. And I encourage you guys to help me and help others online defend each other. Start your own political fight club. Let's get thousands of more, or tens of thousands more channels like this that can keep each other in check, and that can give shout outs when other people are doing good work. And when the next election comes around, we will be a force to be reckoned with when it comes to media. So please consider doing your own political fight club. That's one of the things about political fight club that I want to endorse, is I don't really care how big my channel gets, but I would love to see hundreds, if not thousands, more of you guys do this same exact thing I do. It doesn't cost a damn thing. Just use your smartphone and just sit and bitch for a little bit every day and go after people that have bad takes and get behind people that have good takes. And then in a couple of years, when the 2024 elections come along, maybe we will all have enough media and enough subscribers and get enough views that we'll have like our own independent news network to get behind some of these big candidates that we need on the left. I implore you, please do. So keep fighting the good fight out there, guys. I'll talk to you later.